All right, you guys, it is time for the Q&A. I've been waiting all day to do this so that it was appropriate time to have a glass of wine. All right, you guys, welcome to my Q&A. Chris is gonna help answer some of the questions and keep this video more entertaining.
That's what I'm here for.
I posted asking for questions on my YouTube community tab, on Instagram, and a questions box. And I honestly got quite a few questions from you guys, so I'm excited to answer them all. I kind of am breaking them down into YouTube related questions. I got a few about my relationship with my lovely husband. And
Where?
and then there's just like some random ones that I thought were fun, wanted to answer, throw those in at the end. So that is how this Q&A is gonna go. Grab a beverage or a glass of tea, cup of tea, a spot of tea.
A spot of tea. Bollocks.
And let's get cozy for this Q&A. All right, first question was, what does your typical workday look like as a full-time YouTuber, and how often or how long does it take you to edit your YouTube videos? I actually have posted a couple like workdays in my life type of videos on my channel, so I'll link one up above. I think I just posted one 2 or 3 videos ago from this. Do you wanna like scoot over so that you're not like off to the side?
Yeah, how's this?
At a high level, I would say my workday is like, we've been going on little morning walks in the morning, which is nice. I'll come back, I will work on my computer from like 7 a.m. until lunchtime, honestly, most days. Have lunch, work for a little bit more, and then go to the gym at like 3 with him. And that's kind of like how my workday looks. A lot of time it's like editing. Sometimes I am recording during the middle of the day. So it kind of just depends like what content I need to get done. But as far as like how long it takes me to edit my YouTube videos, I probably over edit my videos a little bit. So I would say it probably takes me somewhere between like 4 and 6 hours per video. Do you have a schedule that you follow for YouTube? Any tips to help with staying consistent and motivated? Yes, I do have a schedule. I make a content calendar for myself that's usually like 2 months scheduled out. Chris actually helps me a lot of times with like content ideas, tips for staying consistent and motivated. I think having a content calendar and just like that just helps me like hold myself accountable to my posting schedule and like what I want to post. But make sure it's like something that's realistic. If you have a full-time job, it might be hard to post twice a week. So just set like realistic expectations for yourself and then like make a schedule and stick to it, I would say. Okay, I have 2 questions related to like income update after you hit 5,000 subscribers, or have I seen any changes in income with my channel growth? And of course the answer to that is yes, I have seen an increase in income with my, what are you doing? So obviously, yes, I have seen income growth with my channel growth. I did just post like 2 videos ago looking at my July analytics. At that point, obviously I didn't have 5,000 subscribers in July, but I guess I can just say that like my income is growing, it seems like every day, and that's really positive. So I will continue to update you guys with like different income updates as I have them. All right, do you miss the 9-to-5 grind? Short answer to that is no. However, I do think there's like pros and cons, obviously, to working a 9-to-5 versus what I am doing right now, being like self-employed. Some of those things being working a 9-to-5, you have consistent income that comes in every single, you know, month or twice a month, whatever. You have health insurance that's covered by your employer. You have things like 401k. So do I miss like some of the perks that come with having a 9-to-5? Yeah, definitely. Do I miss the 9-to-5 grind? No, I don't miss like having to report to someone else. I don't miss having to deal with like workplace drama. I don't miss, you know, office politics or anything like that. I don't miss having one-on-ones. And yeah, so in general, I do not miss the 9-to-5 grind. I like that I can control my income and it's not dependent on like a promotion or a yearly raise. How do I deal with confidence behind the camera? This one I would just say practice. I feel like I've slowly gotten more confident in front of the camera. Just practice talking to it. I feel like when I started out, I didn't like recording in the same room as Chris, so I would always be like secluded somewhere else, but now I don't care as much. So just like practice talking in front of other people, talking in front of the camera, and yeah, just practice. Tips on motivation for pursuing YouTube goals. I feel like this was kind of similar to one of the previous questions, but I would just say, you know, keep your goals in mind. Remember why you want to achieve them. Like be really connected to your why, whether it be to one day leave your 9-to-5 job or to like help people out with motivation tips, productivity tips, tips, cooking, whatever. Like just remember why you wanted to create a channel in the first place, and just like I would say focus on building the community of people that you're trying to help. Okay, next question was, what do you think the key was to hitting 5,000 subscribers so fast, going viral, or being consistent? And so I actually think it's definitely both. Having the side hustles video kind of pop off and reach a lot of people did help me gain a lot of subscribers, because it's like putting me in front of a larger audience. It's just getting more like eyeballs on my page in general. It's driving traffic to my page. However, I think that the consistency and putting out like videos on a regular basis, showing, you know, my personality, my content, my value every single week, twice a week, when somebody does come to my channel because of the video that popped off, then they see all sorts of, you know, videos that I've posted consistently, get a really good idea of what type of content I'm making. I think that the consistency helps me build a community of people that is like very genuinely interested in my videos. They're like my true fans, I would say. And then the viral stuff really just helps you like reach new people, puts your channel and your videos in front of more eyes. So I definitely think it's both. And obviously you don't really have control over going viral, but you do have control over consistency, and being consistent, you know, gives you more opportunities to even potentially have a video pop off. Focus on what you can control. Okay, next question is, what is my favorite type of video to make? This is like a complicated question to me because I actually really like making like days in my lifestyle vlogs where I am like taking you guys through a weekend in my life. Like the camping vlog was so much fun to make. I loved making that video. I love showing different aspects of my life, and yeah, just all of those like vlog style ones I just think are like easy, fun, like lighthearted, fun to make. But I will say I feel like the sit down videos like this, where a little more podcast style, just talking with you, they're easier for me to actually like edit, because it's almost just chunks of talking, if that makes sense, versus the vlogs are, okay, one clip, you know, outside doing something, okay, then one clip cooking dinner, and it's like putting together a lot of different clips that can actually be quite time consuming. And then the other piece for me at least is music. I get so caught up on music, and the vlog style videos, like I feel like I have to spend so much time picking the perfect song for my video, versus when I'm sitting down talking, you can't really hear the music, and so I don't spend anywhere near as much time like editing when it comes to these little sit down videos. So I would say from like an editing perspective, I really like these like sit down chit chat, get to know me, opening up little videos. But as far as like actually recording, I really enjoy more vlog style days of my life type of vlogs. Next question is, what's my favorite part of doing YouTube and what is the hardest part of doing YouTube? I'd say my favorite part is just like getting to be creative. I'm trying to think of ways to be more creative in every single video. I feel like that was one thing I was always missing in my like 9-to-5 job, was not having an opportunity to like truly be a creative. And I feel like I am a creative person, and so I was always forced to be like really like analytical by working in tech and that type of thing. So I feel like I just really love the opportunity to be creative. I also really love being able to like provide value to people, and you know, tips on like health and fitness, tips on like how to be motivated, how to be productive. I love getting feedback from people that I'm actually like helping them out in life. Truly, genuinely love that people comment on my videos saying that I motivated them, I inspired them, they're working out because of me, or they're starting a YouTube channel because of me, and that makes me feel like I'm actually like making a difference in someone's life. So I would say that's my favorite part. The hardest part is, I would say, kind of just the uphill battle. You feel like you're constantly working towards the next milestone, next subscriber amount. Especially for me, using it as a main source of income, like it does matter how many views I get, because that directly corresponds to how much I'm getting paid. So I would say with, you know, any side hustle, it's just that it's a hustle, it's work, it's a grind. Next question is, will I continue to do YouTube if I got a full-time job? Answer to that is yes, I would definitely intend to like still have a YouTube channel if I got a full-time job. At this point, I am definitely feeling like I am not gonna go back to a full-time job. It'll just kind of depend. Like if I got a job offer that was crazy amazing and really high salary and the job sounded awesome, like of course I wouldn't turn it down. But at this point, I am again loving the community I'm building here. I'm loving all the people and my comments, and the fact that I'm actually able to help people out in a very direct way. So I feel like it would take a lot for me to want to go back to a full-time job. Okay, last question about YouTube is, what is my dream brand to collaborate with? And I would say this is a complicated question because there's like different categories for me. It's not just clothing or something, but maybe we'll break it down into categories. So for like activewear, because I wear activewear all the time. Obviously, like Lululemon, I don't even know if they work with influencers or creators because they're so big. But if Lululemon reached out to me, like that would be dream come true. But another kind of like way I would love to incorporate brand collabs into my channel would be actually through travel. So like, I don't know, let's say Delta Airlines was like, hey, you wanna fly first class to London? I would be like, yeah. Let's freaking do it. That is the dream. So I would say like an airline or hotel. That would, I don't know. That was just an example. Singapore Airlines, Emirates. Yeah, what if Emirates asked me to document their first class experience to Dubai? I would have to say yes.
I would say no.
You would say no? What if they were like, you can fly first class, but your husband, he has to ride business, but it was still free?
I would still go. I would hang with the people in the economy. We'd have to party.
Yeah, I would also say, yeah, anything pets related for sure. Like I would love to be sponsored by BarkBox or Chewy. Doodle loves both BarkBox and Chewy. Lots of brands I would absolutely love to collaborate with. All right, on to relationship questions. If you'd like to join me, we have entered the relationship segment of this video. When and where did you and Chris meet?
So,
Let's hear your version.
so I was walking down the street and it was just another day. I was getting catcalled and catcalled and catcalled. And then I don't even know where I'm going with this. We met at work.
Okay, so we met at work. That is true. We both were working for Amazon at the time, and Amazon is a dog-friendly campus. I had just gotten Sweet Doodle.
We'll insert a picture right now.
I had just gotten Doodle as a puppy, and Chris was working there as well. He had a dog named Achilles, and basically Doodle was like scared of most of the dogs in the office, but there was a big like grassy area, so Doodle was really attracted to Achilles and like would want to go play with him. And so obviously as the pet owners, we got to talking.
Yeah, Jess made the first move on me. She messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to take our dogs out? And I was like, frick yeah, that sounds great. So then, you know, one thing led to another and we're in love.
And when that was in what, 2016 that we met? Met in 2016, we started dating in 2017, got engaged in
2020?
Yeah, no
2021.
And then we got married in 2022.
And now it's 2023.
Good job. Okay, number one tip for a healthy marriage that I have learned or experienced. I spent a long time thinking about the answer.
So
to
my
this
number
one.
one tip would be to always be funny and make the other person laugh. And also, as the husband, always be ready to apologize and say sorry, even when I didn't do anything wrong. Right? I'm sorry.
I would agree. I would say like humor, fun, keeping the marriage light and fun is super important. I feel like because we have fun together, it helps us like not fight as much. And also if we do fight, I feel like neither one of us can stay mad at each other because one of us is cracking a joke within the next like hour.
Me. It's always me.
So yeah, I would say definitely like have fun. It shouldn't be super serious. The other thing I was thinking about on this tip is like to take care of yourself, because in order to like show up as the best person for your partner in your marriage, you also need to like take care of yourself, make sure that you are in a good place mentally. Yeah, so just like doing the things that you need to do to like feel good, and then that way you can like be the best person in your marriage for your partner.
So what things do you do to take care of yourself?
Like going to therapy.
And what do I do?
What do you do?
I think that the self-care budget is a little lopsided.
You just got a haircut today.
No, I wouldn't do that. I had more than one haircut. Try new things with each other, I guess. Don't just do the same thing over and over. Travel, push each other. It's good to get out of your bubble every now and then.
Yeah. We'll answer this question because you're still sitting over here. How do you have money for nails, trips, new items if you're unemployed? No hate, just genuinely curious. This is a fair question. I would say this kind of relates to the last one, which is like, for me, my nails are a non-negotiable self-care thing. You get your hair done pretty much just as often as I get my nails done.
Do a close up.
Mine are grown out.
Whose nails are better?
But the short answer to this, I would say, is like budgeting. We look at our budget and can understand like where we can spend. When I got laid off, like we looked at our budget and said like, what expenses can we cut back on? We don't really go out to eat very much, if at all. I think if we do, it's like because somebody invited us out to dinner, like a friend or something.
That's not to say we don't want to.
Definitely. Like, we're very limited on like things like going to the movies. And I feel like we are actually very conscious about spending money, but for me, like, nails are my self-care thing. As far as trips, we use miles a lot. When we're going up to Washington, we used miles for that trip. So just like being conscious about how we're spending, I would say, and like budget and work smarter, not harder. But I will also say he has a nice paying job. Thanks, babe.
I'm her sugar daddy. The short answer is I'm her sugar daddy.
But I also have like these side hustles too that help out a little bit, like doing Rover and now YouTube. So what city do you like better, Vegas or Seattle? They each have pros and cons, I would say. I lived in Seattle for like 7 years, and Seattle is absolutely beautiful, especially during the summers. There's tons of like hiking, the water is beautiful, so green and lush up there. But personally, like, the weather was really getting to me with the gloominess. So in general, I would say I'm like happier here because it's sunnier and warmer.
I like elements of both cities.
Right.
Like, I like the sunshine here in Vegas. I like having a house with space and not being forced to live in an apartment in Seattle because everything's so expensive there. I like how it's seemingly safer here in Las Vegas. You know, there's a lot of homeless people in Seattle.
At least where we lived.
But there's a lot of things that I miss about Seattle. Like, I miss how green it was. I miss the proximity to things that we like camping, hiking, just going to the lake, things like that.
We were closer to family up there.
Yeah, we were a lot closer to family, so obviously miss family a lot. But down here, we have a lot of friends. There's a lot of benefit to being down here, and it is fun to just be in a new city, doing something, you know, different. We're in Seattle for almost 10 years, so.
Would you consider moving back to Seattle?
I would consider, yeah. You know, if the right opportunity presented itself, but at the same time, you know, in a perfect world, I would like to have multiple houses where, you know, we could live down here during the winter and live up there during the summer or something like that, where, you know, you don't have to be in the gloom all year round, basically.
I would agree. Favorite athletic clothing brand? My answer remains Lululemon.
I like Jimmy Butler, so I'm gonna say Aloe Yoga. I think that's a good brand. But I'm wearing Lululemon shirt, Lululemon shorts. I'm not picky when it comes to my athletic clothing for the most part.
If you could live in 4 different cities for each season, where would you live for fall, winter, spring, summer? Summer would be for me like North Idaho. Not that that's a specific city, but yeah, just that area.
Coeur d'Alene,
yeah. That would be summer for me. I would say like spring. I like living down here in the Southwest because it's like warming up really nice and kind of like perfect weather. Winter, like best case would be like San Diego or somewhere like on the beach in California. And that leaves fall. I don't know. There's a lot of really beautiful places in fall. Like would be really
We
pretty.
were in Michigan.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
In October. Was that last year?
Yeah.
That was really pretty in October. Seeing the leaves change colors and stuff. It was cold, but it was cool.
What is the next presidential museum on my list? My friend Lexi asked this question because one time we went to a presidential museum.
That was when we were in Michigan. We were in Grand Rapids and we went to the
Gerald Ford Museum. And Lexi and Chris were both really into it, and I couldn't wait to be done.
Jess doesn't like history at all, and Lexi and I both like history, so it was fun. So the next presidential museum, you know, it's gonna be whichever one presents itself to us. We're gonna have to plan a road trip out of it. So if anybody recommends a good one, I've already been to the Ronald Reagan one. So if anybody has any recommendations, you know, put it down in the comments.
Okay, weirdest thing I've ever eaten. This has to be something we ate in Thailand because we had a lot of weird stuff in Thailand. I didn't eat the chicken foot. You ate the chicken foot.
Yeah, I ate chicken feet.
That was gross. I couldn't do it.
It's not that uncommon, but it was just not a good texture. It was like very rubbery. We had the
crab pate, which is like crab poop.
They basically harvest the insides of the bowels of crab, and they put it into like a pate form, and then they serve it over rice. That was actually pretty tasty, I'm not gonna lie. That was good. There's a century egg.
Century egg, which is like an egg it's like a hard-boiled egg, but it's fermented in like horse urine.
For 100 days.
For 100 days, and it turns it like blood red. So that was just like a mental thing because it tasted just like.
They didn't tell us what it was until after we tried it.
We had like we had some insects. We had like some crickets, and other than that, That's the only time we've like eaten weird stuff. 2 questions left. Would love to hear more about your swim business, why you decided to end it, and if you would ever pick it back up again. So for those of you who don't know, I had a swimmer brand called Ballard Bikini. I started it, I think it was like 2018. I started Ballard Bikini and I was living in Seattle at the time. I started it because I was looking for kind of sustainably made swimwear and couldn't really find it. I wanted something that was more flattering for like an athletic body like mine. And yeah, it was just like kind of a fun side hustle. I was working a job that I wasn't super passionate about, so it was like my little passion project. It kind of like got to a point where it was getting really stressful. It was costing more money to operate it than it wasn't really in the black. I was maybe making like $5,000 a year, which for the amount of like effort and stress it put on me, it just like didn't feel worth it. So that's kind of why I decided to end it. It was just getting like really stressful and I wasn't really making money from it. So it kind of became like weighing the stress versus benefits, I guess. Would I pick it back up again? Honestly, I would. I feel like I've learned so much about like starting a clothing business and what it takes, and especially now that I live in like a sunnier, warmer climate, I think it would be a little bit easier. Part of the constraint I was feeling in Seattle was like the bikini
season.
The bikini season was like 2 months versus down here it's like 6 months. So I could definitely see it being a little bit easier here. I would consider it. And the last question I decided to put on here was, who's my biggest supporter?
Who's it gonna be?
It's gotta be Doodle. I have to say I have a lot of really great supporters. Like I've said it a billion times, but I'm so grateful for every person that watches my videos, that comments on them, likes them, all of that. Of course, you are here when I'm complaining about like not getting views or whatever, so you're definitely my most...
Wait, me?
Yeah, you.
Me?
My most direct supporter. But I also have tons of other people that are always, you know, hyping me up and supporting me, and I am grateful for all my friends and family and people on the internet as well that are hyping me up, leaving nice comments, encouraging me, helping me block out the haters, and especially my husband for being here when I am upset and encouraging me to keep going. Yeah. The rest of the questions I got were kind of random and weird. Like, one was like, who was the last person you texted? Pretty much only text you, so you're the last person I texted.
Frick yeah.
Who's the last person I looked up on Instagram? I was looking at it. I'm pretty sure it's my sister. Yeah, I looked up balloon photo, and then I looked up my sister. I feel like that's it. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that Q&A. I enjoyed sharing a little bit about myself and giving you guys some YouTube tips. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions for me, want me to expand on anything. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more Q&A style videos from me. Yeah.
Or me.
But yeah, I think that's it, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will catch up with you next time.
Bye.